My name's Jordan Stevenson. We're super excited to have you here with us tonight. Welcome to 2020. Woo! I mean, you've already been in 2020 for a little while, but this is our very first, I almost called it a day with honors. This is our very first Facebook Live Ask Admissions in the new year. So all those cheesy things we'll say about having a 2020 vision, get ready. We have a special guest with us tonight. I'm going to let her introduce herself, but we're very excited, and we have some awesome news for you as well.
Yes. I'm Casey Waldsmith. I'm the Communications and Marketing Specialist for the Honors College here at KSU.
And also,
I'm Jacinta Lester. I am the Manager of Admissions Special Populations. It's not as smooth as it was last time.
You
were smooth last time.
Yeah. It's a tough one.
It's a tough one. It's a lot.
Yep.
So good.
So your old tried and true folks here tonight, we want to hear from you. We want to know if you have admissions questions about the university, questions about honors. So we're really going to talk a lot about honors tonight. So if you're out there and you're a prospective student, or you're a parent of a prospective student, or you're just like, wow, I just scrolled down the page and here I'm on KSU's Facebook Live and I want to learn about honors, then we're going to tell you all about honors tonight. We have some exciting news from the Nest, so I want to make sure you're up to date here in 2020. You don't want to get left behind in 2019. So we have some exciting things coming up, some events. So if you're a transfer student out there, we're doing information sessions all through the spring. If you want to come to us for summer 2020, you want to come for fall 2020 or beyond, we would love to have you. Check out visit.kennesaw.edu. That's where you sign up for a lot of our special events, like things like our transfer events or dual enrollment information events, or even a day with honors is there on the visit site. We have a special session coming up though on the 17th of January, so watch out for that. Sign up if you want to come to our information night or information session, with transfer. Also, we have some open houses coming up. So we put them together in February. We want to make sure you get to see both of our campuses. They're one back-to-back, one on one weekend, one on the next. So on February the 15th and on February the 22nd, we have some open houses. You can go to, it's admissions.kennesaw.edu/open house. So admissions.kennesaw.edu/open house. You can learn more about what is open house. So if you don't quite know what that is, I'm not going to really take a ton of time and tell you right now. Check out that website. That'll tell you everything you need to know and then allow you to sign up there on the site. You can also go to visit.kennesaw.edu like I talked about earlier. Big deadline coming up. So summer deadline, fall deadline. We have June the 1st is a deadline that's coming up. So if you're out there and you're a parent of a high school student, maybe you have a dual enrollment prospective student in the household, and you need to test. This is really now the time to take standardized tests if you haven't done so yet. There's some testing coming up here, so make sure you sign up for tests well in advance. Make sure to always put down Kennesaw State as a school to receive your test after it's finished. That way you don't have to worry about it, don't have to log back into your student profile and request to send it separately. They'll send it to us as soon as it's available. But another thing too is if you're a transfer student and you need to get all the way through to the end of the semester, we understand that you've got until June the 1st to get us all of your supporting documentation and apply for future terms. Career planning and development, we have an extensive career planning and development department here at KSU. They are, and I can say that because I've worked at multiple universities, and you're going to believe me because I've said that. But they have some really exciting things going on, and we're highlighting some of these. This is for current students. So current students, if you're out there and you've scrolled to the page, this is great information for you. But also, this is really for prospective students to know what you're going to have available to you when you come here to Kennesaw State University. So career planning and development, they have an education job fair that's coming up, and it's on January the 30th from 11 to 3 in the KSU Center. So again, KSU Center, 11 to 3. KSU Center is very close to the Kennesaw campus. But education job fair, you can sign up on the career planning website. And then they also have a professional image award scholarship. So participate in career planning events, and you could qualify for this annual scholarship. You could win up to $300. Pretty exciting.
That's big money.
Three,
That's awesome.
300. 300 large, big money. Okay, so what you need to do is complete the undergraduate scholarship application. You can do that through Owl Express, and make sure you check in with your career planning advisor. Okay, so do that. This money could go, sorry, I should have said, this money could go to fund your new, like, professional wardrobe.
Yes.
So, I mean, I had to pillage my dad's closet. That was how I got my first professional wardrobe. Thankfully, at the time, we were about the same size, so it worked.
So it works out.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
maybe go, to the mall, which is like right around the corner
Yeah.
for you guys, if you're on the
Right.
Kennesaw campus, or, Ross Dress for Less, which
Right.
is like my favorite.
There you
But,
Yeah, we do a lot with J.C. Penney when
Yeah,
it's coming
JC
up,
Penney.
which is really cool every year. Career planning works really hard at that. So they always have something really cool. Definitely check out their website, Career Planning. We'll make sure we post it here on the Facebook Live feed, so you can see where to go. Another update for you. So if you're out there, you've already been admitted to the university, and you're like, what do I do next? Well, one, you're going to learn about honors tonight and learn what you need to do to apply to the Honors College and be considered. But also, we want you to fill out the scholarship application to Kennesaw State University. So scholarships for fall 2020, the application is open right now. It is as simple as going into your Owl Express account, click on the scholarship application. You can also go to our website and go to the scholarship webpage. You can go to financial aid website. You can get to it from there as well. But the deadline, we want you to know the deadline. March the 1st is the scholarship deadline for fall 2020. So make sure you go there, make sure you get everything submitted before March the 1st. That way you can be considered for all of the different scholarships here at the university. There's only one application, so we want to make it simple for you, make sure we remove all those barriers of having to remember to fill out 5, 10 applications. You just have to fill out the one application. And that also counts for Honors College scholarships, which is fantastic.
And a link to that application is actually at the end of the Honors College application.
Oh, that's nice.
So
Yes,
super
ma'am.
convenient. Yeah.
Convenient.
Yeah.
Perfect, look at that, because Casey thinks ahead. Casey's really in depth, and she put that application together. So we've got another really big piece of news that we need to tell you about, and you may have already read about it, may have already heard about it. It's been in the news, it's been on KSU's website. That's right, Casey's been giddy for days now. But we have an official statement that we want to read you, and if we get questions later on throughout this event, I'm going to refer back to this official statement. So please bear with me while I read it to you, okay? So hang in. The Kennesaw State Honors College, now called KSU Journey Honors College, which is very exciting, has received the largest gift in KSU's history. It was $10 million from the Brown family. So very exciting. You can read about it on our website, just kennesaw.edu. It's one of the banner stories. But I want to read you an official statement talking a little bit about this special award that we've received. This is an exciting time for Kennesaw State's Honors College. Just last week, we announced a generous gift, which will go towards student scholarships in the Honors College. We're very thankful to our donors, Rosemary and John Brown, and in recognition of their gift, the college will now be known as the KSU Journey Honors College, reflecting the Browns' passion for encouraging students to focus on achieving their goals. We know that you have a lot of questions about this gift and what it may mean for you. We're working on the details and will provide more information as soon as it's available. But we're not able to answer any questions about the scholarships tonight. You can keep an eye out on the Honors College website, honors.kennesaw.edu, and social media for updates. Also, you'll want to visit Kennesaw State's Office of Scholarships website, scholarships.kennesaw.edu, for information about all of our scholarship opportunities and deadlines. We just talked about some. We've posted a link to the press release in the description for tonight's event so that you can read a bit more about the gift. Again, we're thankful to the Browns for their generous gift and look forward to providing you with more information as soon as it becomes available. So we are super excited. You want to talk about how excited you are?
I don't know that I have enough words to say how excited I am. We're grateful, and over the moon is not even a way to say it. We're just so thankful. So,
Absolutely. Well, I think it's pointed in that the good work that the Honors College has been doing, the good work that Dean Bailey, that yourself, I know you. If you come to a day with honors, you hear me call Casey the queen of all trades, and that's true because she's doing everything, and it's because she's capable, but it's also because she really loves students and she really loves what the Honors College at Kennesaw State means for you, and it's such a difference maker that being enrolled in the Honors College, participating in the Honors College can mean for your development as a student, can mean for your opportunities while you're here at KSU, and then afterwards, especially as they prepare you to truly be a valuable member of society. So it's exciting to see people that are outside of the university recognize the strength of our Honors College as well.
Yeah, we have some amazing students, and I have the best job on campus. I think our dean would disagree. She has the best job, but I have the best job.
Yes.
Yep.
So that's a lot of news from the nest. So thank you for bearing with me. And we want to jump in and talk about honors. So we've got a lot to cover tonight. If you've got questions, post them below. We're going to jump right in. So Casey, tell people about the Honors College.
Okay, well, so there's a lot going on in honors. One of the really cool things, I mentioned that I feel like I have the best job on campus, and I really feel that because we're just a really close-knit community. I had an open house this weekend, and one of the students that was there said that she feels like she has a welcoming committee every time she comes into the Honors College. And I just love that. That's my favorite part of my job. But we have some really cool things. There are some great benefits for our students, like priority registration and scholarships and housing and things like that. But we actually have a really flexible curriculum that enhances students' resume and their portfolios. Our goal is to take what you're already doing here in college and how can you make that even better? How can you get the most opportunity possible?
How many students do you typically have in your the honors program?
So total, we have about 1,400 students right now, so it's still a really small community, and I think we have about 36,000 undergrads, 38,000 total.
Close, yeah.
So it's a really small sliver of that, but one of the really nice things is that honors courses, which they're not required for students, but they're available, those are always capped at 25 students. So it provides a really intimate experience. They're always discussion-based, seminar style, so students who love class discussion, diving deeper into those topics. Those courses are not necessarily harder, they're just that discussion-based style. So a lot of students, once they take them, they love to keep taking them until they graduate because they're a really great experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Casey and I have worked together for years, and I've always put it this way, that I attended a private institution for my undergraduate degree, and the Honors College here at the large public with a big name is really the best of both worlds. You get the large network of the big public institution with a recognizable name, but you get these smaller, hands-on, personalized courses that you really get to dig in deep that you would get at a private institution, but without the cost of the private institution. So it's really such an incredible opportunity to be able to participate in something like this within the large public school.
And it works with every major, which is nice.
Yeah.
So we're housed on both campuses. So regardless of if you're, humanities, business up at Kennesaw campus, or if you're engineering, down at Marietta, it works great with both. So.
Well, that actually makes me, sorry, Jessica,
No,
want to piggyback and say, being able to work with all majors, what would you say to someone that, say, wants to major in something like biology and participate in honors, and then what would you say to someone who wants to major in something like music, or maybe even architecture and participating in honors? What's really different about our honors college versus other programs that are out there?
Yeah, good question. So I mentioned that we do have honors courses, but we have what we call a flexible curriculum. So typically at other honors colleges or other honors programs, if you're looking at other schools, you'll notice that those honors programs are typically 24 to 27 hours of a prescribed curriculum. So they tell you, what courses you need to take and maybe a sequence that you need to take them in. And that can sometimes result in paying extra for your degree, adding time to your degree. So our dean, who is amazing, she developed this flexible model, and we have 8 different ways for students to get honors credit, and they all vary by credit hour. They're all different experiences. So that's something I always tell someone if they're in a different major, biology versus music, take what works with your schedule and take something that you feel like is going to enhance your resume. So for example, we have something called an honors contract, which students can take in any 3 credit hour course. And it's basically an extra project that you choose. So it has to be about 15 hours of work for an entire semester. But we've had students do brochures, we've had students do TED Talks, papers, if they want to do that. We don't put you in a box and tell you what you have to do. You pick something you're interested in, pick a class that you really like, and if you complete that project and your instructor is pleased with it, we flip that to an honors course on your transcript. So it's kind of a cool, non-cost way to participate in honors, and you can do as many of those as you want. So really flexible, yeah.
My question was, what makes our program so unique? But you answered that already.
Lots of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've got a question from the audience.
Okay, our first question comes from Susan.
Hi, Susan.
Hey, Susan.
She wants to know, how do you qualify for the honors program?
Boom.
Ooh,
Nice.
All right.
Need to write it.
Yeah, so we have basically 2 different rules as far as eligibility goes. We look at, for incoming first-year students, a 3.5 GPA, and then we take the SAT or the ACT. So the SAT is a 1220, and the ACT is a 25, so that's one rule. And then the other rule is that if you have higher test scores, we accept a lower GPA. So if you have an SAT score of 1300, an ACT score of 28, we accept a lower GPA of 3.25. However, we have a lot of students who really want to be in honors. They love that flexible curriculum and the other benefits that comes along with that. And they may not qualify as an incoming first-year student. So at that point, we just look at a 3.25 GPA if you've been here at KSU a semester. You can actually apply to honors as a current student.
I was a transfer student from Georgia Highlands. So if I wanted to transfer from one school and then come to KSU and maybe be a part of the honors program, is that possible for a student?
Yeah, so we do have different designations, or what we call them, and that's basically what you earn after completing your time in the Honors College when you graduate. And so for students who come in as transfers, and we do have a lot of students who want to do that, we just ask that you have about 4 semesters left so that you can really get the experience, but absolutely you can still participate. Yeah.
So we actually just had a student kind of follow up with what Jacinta said. They said, how do I qualify as a transfer student? So that was great timing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's it for questions right now. But Casey, you're getting some love from Carolyn Worthy. She says you rock.
Hey. Nice.
Thanks,
Keep it
Carolyn.
going.
Hey, Carolyn, what about me?
Show Jordan some love in the comments.
I like the heart option. You can pick the heart one.
That's it for now.
That's it.
Over
Okay.
and
Yeah,
over and
yeah.
over.
Just click it over and over. That's fine.
Carolyn's our other fabulous person. Well, we have a lot of fabulous
Yeah.
people in honors, but she also greets students at the door. Her desk is next to mine, so she's the other part of the welcoming committee.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Casey, we've talked generally about the curriculum, about the size, right? So really small college within the large institution. What are some special programs that make up, or special cohorts that are part of the Honors College? And would you mind telling people a little bit more about them?
Certainly. So we have 2 cohorts. So these students who are in these cohorts, they're also part of honors, but these cohorts are very small. They're limited to 25 students each. The first one is the President's Emerging Global Scholars Program. So it is considered the most elite program on campus. Those students become very close. It's a really close community. It's a diverse cohort, so they represent all different academic colleges and all different majors, so it's a way for students to get to know each other. But PEGS is based on what we call 3 pillars, so it's leadership, service, and global competency. The really neat part about that cohort. There are a lot of cool things about it, and the courses, they have their own special curriculum, they take their own special HLEs, and then they also get to travel internationally. So those students, as a freshman, they actually go to Costa Rica, and then as a sophomore, they go to Italy. We have some donors who provide some funding so that these students can travel for a really small amount of money, because we know that's really challenging, and we feel like that's an important experience for students to have in their undergraduate career. So PEGS is very special. I work closely with PEGS. And then we also have a second cohort, which is great books. And you usually talk about great books.
I do
want
talk
to?
about great books, but it's your night.
You want me to talk about
I'll gladly talk about great books. I love great books. My background is liberal arts, humanities for my undergrad. And so Casey, I think mainly just to give her a rest because she talks so much when we're doing our presentations. But I get to jump in. So Great Books is a small cohort like PEGS. It has 25 students that are accepted to the cohort. They do have special scholarships within the cohort as well, so that's a nice benefit to students. And they also study abroad. They go to Montepulciano. You got to put your fingers together like this when you say it. Montepulciano, Italy. So very exciting to our campus there in Italy. So if you didn't know, we have an incredible facility in Italy as well. You've been, yes?
I have been.
Yeah.
It's
mhm.
amazing.
I've been
She's
dying.
been,
to
and
like
I'm
something.
jealous.
Can I help out?
I
Trying to
tried.
get you guys
We
in.
tried.
I try to sweet talk all the people in honors, but somehow I get teased and never get to go. So one day they'll really need me, and I will gladly go. As long as my boss says, "Hey Jackie, let me go." But so the approach of Great Books is, and this is where I always get goosebumps when I talk about it, is that you replace what would be not all core curriculum classes, but some core curriculum classes, or really when you look at American higher education, a third of your undergraduate degree program is made up of core competencies, classes that a lot of times students say, I already took that, I took it in high school. And we get that, we understand that, but this is just a continued building of the foundation of education. And so it's your replacement of English courses and history courses and things like that. But you do it through the lens of great books from history. So if you actually go to the honors website, you can look at the Great Books cohort and you can see there's 150 great books that are out there that they've selected. This program started at Harvard in 1909, so very exciting. The president at Harvard at the time looked at the landscape of higher education, thought that the teaching had become too vocational, and so gathered together a group of faculty from across and administrators at Harvard and picked out 250 great books from history, and they were going to teach courses through the lenses of these great books. We have a program like that, and we've whittled it down to 150 great books. So it's really cool, just a unique approach. For me, that's higher education. It is forcing you to look at today's problems through the lenses of some old text, like studying American government, not with a new edited textbook, which is nothing wrong with those, but you get to learn about American government through the eyes of a Frenchman written in the early 1800s, Alexis de Tocqueville, his book Democracy in America. I think that's the coolest thing ever. So I love education. There you go. It's
I was
really
writing
neat.
down notes, so it'll help me.
Yeah. But that's Great Books in a nutshell. Hopefully I didn't butcher it.
No, that was perfect.
And if you're interested in applying for these programs, Casey's put together this, as well as her wonderful co-workers, put together this incredible application on the honors website. We're going to let her talk a little bit about it. But I love that they don't make you fill out multiple applications, much like our scholarship application. You just fill out the one application. You're checking off boxes, telling them what you're interested in, doing some extra stuff for one or the other. But why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so our application can be found at honors.kennesaw.edu. On the left-hand side, you'll see prospective students. If you click that, you'll see application. So we just have the one application. So if you want to apply for PEGS or Great Books, or maybe you like the sound of both of those and you're not really sure, that's fine too. You can't be in both, but you can apply to both. So maybe if you don't get into Great Books, you get into PEGS or vice versa. But it's all part of one application as well as for the honors program application. So just fill that out. You're going to notice that your essay questions actually differ based on what you're applying for. So if you click down and say, I want to apply for PEGS, you'll see different essay questions that populate. So it's pretty simple though. And we actually get so much from admissions that it's incredibly simple. We don't ask for test scores, we don't ask for GPA. We can get all of that from admissions, which is wonderful. So
That's a nice process.
Nice.
So my specialty is dual enrollment students, and we do have some students who are interested in taking, like you said, they're not harder classes, but they're interested in that seminar style, a different way of learning. Can dual enrollment students also participate as well?
absolutely, yeah, absolutely, and that's that
Shameless
same
plug.
application
Yeah.
too. So yeah, you can participate as a dual enrollment student, and hopefully you stay at KSU after as well, because that counts towards graduation if you participate in honors here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It looks good. Looks good on your resume.
And deadlines, I also should mention, for
Yes.
PEGS and Great Books are actually both March 20th. That is earlier than our honors program application deadline, and that's because of the review process that goes along with it. So we actually have, for the PEGS cohort, students get $2,750 during their time in the program. It's distributed as $1,000 first year, $1,000 the second year, and then $750 that last semester. And then, as Jordan said, Great Book students get $1,000 scholarship. So everybody who's part of those cohorts gets that scholarship money. But that means that there is a review process. So we ask that you get your application in by March 20th.
So Casey, everybody out there watching is super curious. How did you end up working in honors? How did you end up, because I already know all the secrets, how did you end up at KSU? Tell them a little bit more about
Yeah.
yourself.
So I'm actually a two-time graduate of
Hooty
KSU.
hoo.
Yes, I've been
Yeah.
here a long time. I won't say how long because then I'll give away my age. But yeah, I've been here a long time. So I got my undergraduate here in.
Sorry, I'm laughing at a long time. It's all relative,
Yeah, I was gonna
folks.
say.
Says the guy with all the gray hair. So.
So I got my undergraduate in business marketing and knew I wanted to do marketing, and eventually I really wanted to teach. That's, I knew that was my goal eventually. So I also knew I wanted to get my master's degree to kind of pursue that. So I actually got a full-time job in mechatronics engineering is where I started. Yes, it was
Sorry.
cool. That was a cool job. I'd be sitting there
Mechatronics
and
is so
robots
cool.
would come into my office. I mean, they do amazing work
Yeah,
over there. It was
yeah.
really
Do
neat.
they bring you coffee as well?
Oh, that'd be
Did
sweet.
you have something make? Bring
I
you
think
coffee?
that's a good idea.
How's it
So
go?
like
Yeah. Does it come
like
in?
a capstone project, perhaps.
Yes, honor students built
Yes.
the robot to bring the coffee to us. Yeah.
I have a coffee addiction, so I
Yes.
would, yes, as my colleagues would attest to. So I was there for a while, and then I heard about this job opening up in the Honors College, and I actually had a friend who called me and said, I think you'd be perfect for this, and I would like to send you the job description and you should apply. So I applied that day and got the call, and then I feel like I got the best job ever, so I was really fortunate. And now I'm teaching in honors as well, so I kind of have achieved one of my goals, and I went back and got my master's degree here, my MBA. So yeah,
That's awesome.
they couldn't get rid of me.
Nope.
And you're a local, yeah.
I'm a local, yes. I grew up in Kennesaw,
You don't
and now I'm
need
in
to tell everybody
Cartersville,
where you're from.
which is still local.
Ish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ish.
Depending on who you ask.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
so,
Well, thank you. I know. I think it's interesting because I don't know about a lot of people out there, but definitely I fell into working in higher education. I'm sure there's parents that are out there or students that are out there that are a little more inquisitive. Maybe you're not bored to death by this, but you're wondering, how do you end up getting one of these jobs, right? It's a great question. We make lots of jokes about it, but no. This is a neat place to work. You get to do, think about what Casey gets to do all the time. Working with students, teaching students, getting to promote the Honors College. And this is her job, and she gets paid, and she lives in a cool place like Cartersville. It's neat, right? It's neat. I think it's neat to tell people how you can end up working in higher education, because if you value things like advancing society, giving back, helping people achieve their dreams, help people move up the social ladder, all these things, then higher education could be a good place for you. So, cool.
I agree.
We've got a question. All right.
Okay, so can you talk about the Honors College strategy to make the students feel well-rounded?
Yeah, nice.
Ooh, yes. So we actually have something in the Honors College that we established called the 8 Foundations of Honors Learning. These are what we call marketable skills. So they're things like professionalism and leadership, creativity and innovation. They're skills that we feel like everyone needs, regardless of what career you go into, what you're doing with your life. They're skills everyone needs. All of those skills we weave into every honors learning experience that you have. So we want you to be really well-rounded when you graduate, in addition to having those really cool experiences to build your portfolio.
So we talk a little bit about like the places you get to go. So you get to go to Montepulciano, Italy. Can you tell a little bit about when students get to travel outside of the country? Like, what do they experience outside of going to a classroom? But like, what are their experiences while they're out there?
Yeah, so we have a couple of different programs. The cohort programs, they travel internationally. We also have a signature honors program called City as Text. So that is a 3-credit-hour course that students can take if they're interested, and it's always on a special area of study. So we've done London, England in the past, we've done Berlin, Germany in the past. The idea behind that course is that students actually study that area for the semester. So they will talk about everything from culture to politics in that area, and then they actually get to travel there and experience it. Typically those are spring break trips. So that's signature to honors. That's only open to honors students, and that's been a really popular one in the past. We also have, I know we're talking international, but we actually have a domestic trip that we do every year as well called Honors Alternative Spring Break. So we like to offer our students some service opportunities. PEG students do a lot of service, but we like for honors students to have that opportunity too. So we are actually traveling to Rome, Georgia, which is where we've gone the past 3 years.
Normally you pause.
Normally I pause, but there's no way.
Georgia,
not Italy.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, I know. So we travel up there. We stay at Windshape Retreat Center, which is owned by Chick-fil-A, and they do leadership training for us, which is awesome. And then we stay in cabins there, but we also work with Habitat for Humanity. So it's a really great way for students who like to participate in service. They can participate in that trip, and it actually counts as an honors learning experience as well. So that's another way you can get honors credit while you're here at KSU.
Folks, I think we have another question.
Okay, this comes from Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Hello, Lisa.
If you're a current student, what are the requirements to become an honors student? How does that work? What's the process?
For current students, we just look at GPA, so we actually don't look at test scores anymore. We just ask for a 3.25 GPA, and then we ask that you maintain that. So as long as you have 4 semesters left, you can come on in and fully participate, and you can earn a designation when you graduate.
Nice.
Yeah.
So check it out, Lisa.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Honors
Come by,
Second,
visit
so,
Casey.
Yes.
I'll
She's
welcome
in
you.
Willingham Hall, 2nd floor.
We're just telling all of Casey's business.
That's right. Also, little hidden treat. If you go in the honors office, they always have really good snacks.
That's true.
Now, I'll be really bummed if they don't, but
No, that's true.
you'll be bummed too.
It's hard for those of us that have a New Year's resolution.
Yeah,
It's challenging.
yeah. I don't know what those are. But yeah, go check it out, Lisa.
Okay, we have a couple more questions too. Okay, this one's from Yesenia. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong.
Hello.
She would like you guys to talk about the HLEs that transfer students must complete.
So for students coming in, if they want to get that second designation, if they come in as transfers or current KSU students even, that second designation either requires 3 HLEs plus a capstone. Capstones are done in your major, so you can do one through us, but we ask that you just do your major capstone. Or you can do a secondary track with 5 HLEs. So we have a lot of flexibility in the program. So just think of it as 3 HLEs plus a capstone or 5 HLEs before you graduate. And more information's on our website on that as well.
For
Yeah.
those of you out there who weren't necessarily picking up on what an HLE is. What's an HLE?
That's what
Oh,
I was thinking in my
I-
mind, but I was like, I don't want to say it out loud,
Yeah.
so
I got you.
thanks.
Yeah, I say it all the time. I forget others don't know what it means. It's an honors learning experience. So those things like honors courses count, but also the honors contracts that I mentioned. We have a lot of different options. Honors discoveries, which we haven't really talked about yet.
We need to.
We do need to, because those are pretty
They're
cool.
cool.
But there are lots of different ways. Our goal is for you to take what you're already doing and weave honors into that, because we never want to add time or cost to your degree. We just want you to have the most opportunity possible.
Nice.
Okay, another question, just a general admissions question. I guess it's applicable for honors too. You explained when your deadline is. So when is the application deadline for fall 2020?
So, fall 2020 deadline is June 1st.
Nice.
I'm looking at Jordan, like, is it? Yes?
Yeah.
It's June 1st
Yeah.
for incoming freshmen. So if you are coming in for fall 2020, make sure, go ahead and apply. The application's been open since August of last year. And then go ahead and submit your high school transcript, SAT or ACT scores to us. And we have a very quick turnaround admission process. So don't wait until June 1st to apply, because of course you want to be able to apply for scholarships, which are that close in March. Apply to honors if you want to be a part of PEGs or Great Books, and catch up on housing and things like that. So don't wait. If you know that you meet admission requirements to KSU, go ahead and start the application process. I tell all of my students, you need to know where you're going to go. I give them usually the deadline of around March, but our deadline for scholarships is March 1st, so February. That's when you should know where you're going to school.
Right. Please.
Well, for honors, just to piggyback off of that. So for the fall 2020 semester, our deadline is actually not until July 31st. But like Jacinta said, don't wait, because you're not eligible for any of the perks until you apply and are accepted to honors. So things like honors housing, which always fills really quickly. It's not mandatory, but it is a nice option and considered premium housing on both campuses. Things like that, priority registration, just go ahead and apply, knock it out while you're thinking about it.
Since we're on honors housing and just kind
Yeah.
of a living, so it's a living learning
It is.
community. Can you talk about that and what that looks like
Sure,
for an
yeah.
honors student?
Yeah, so we have housing on both campuses. So on the Kennesaw campus, it's the Austin Residence Complex. It's suite style and apartment style. And then on the Marietta campus, it is Hornet Village, which is suite style. The really nice thing about honors housing is that they get their own special programming. So they get their own events that we do every semester, everything from scavenger hunts to workshops and lecture events. And that's also a really close-knit community. So the honors community is tight, but when students live together in that honors community, they form bonds. So it's a really nice option for students, but it's not mandatory if you're not interested in that as well.
Trying to think of a science joke with bonds, like covalent bonds. Isn't that something? Yeah.
I wasn't good.
I don't know. I have a religion degree. What are you gonna say? I know. I ruined it. So you mentioned honors. You mentioned living, learning community. Some of the things, and building community. Some of the things that they do together. What are some of the fun things you do? And tell people how they can learn about these cool, fun things, and maybe keep up with these cool, fun things that you do.
So we have a lot of fun things that we do in honors. So we have everything from, we've done lecture events where we do a book club and then we bring the author to campus and open that to the public. So people get to have a book signing with the author and meet them, all the way to things like a ping pong tournament, which is very cutthroat in the Honors College. People get into it. And we've done gingerbread house building contest. We actually, for this year's Kennesaw gingerbread house building contest, had 27 teams.
Wow.
We had to move it to the university rooms because we had so many people who wanted to participate, which was awesome.
Now, did they have to bring their own gingerbread material, or did you provide it?
See, if you let them bring stuff, then they have advantages.
Ooh, that's a good point.
And
I
people
didn't think about that.
The other
Wow.
students get heated.
I think people are honest. So
yeah, they are honest, but
Oy. Honestly,
They're
trying
sneaking in,
to,
like,
honestly trying to win.
Honor
extra
students.
marshmallows, extra.
Yeah, there you go.
Honor
Yeah.
students,
Extra
they
thick
are on
gingerbread.
it. They are on it, and they are competitive. So yeah, they get
Golly.
into it, and so we provide all the supplies that they need, and we
Nice.
provide snacks and all that.
Gingerbread.
Gingerbread. So yeah, it's awesome, but we have a really wide range, and then of course we have the Living Learning Community events that we do every semester. But we actually have an honors app now that we rolled out last summer, which is really exciting. So if you just search Honors KSU, it's for Apple and Android users. It's totally free. You can download it, see all of the events that we're offering, and you can also see things like deadlines and all the courses that we have. You can get in touch with us directly. You can shoot messages to us from the app, which is really nice.
That's cool.
Make advising appointments, so it's been really handy. Yeah,
Next level.
it's pretty
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Casey, I know a lot of these stories, but what are some student stories you'd like to share with everyone? Some of the cool things your students have done or things they've been involved in, maybe some scholarships they've received outside of the university, things like that.
We have a lot of them. We have some amazing students, we really do, and they constantly are just impressing us with what they go out and accomplish. A couple that come to mind, so we have, she's a PEG student, she's a second year now, Kendall Chamberlain. She's a journalism major, and she actually got a Fulbright Award as a freshman, which
Insane.
was
That's
incredible.
wild.
So
Yep.
she, over the summer, got to travel to the UK and just travel around with the Fulbright group that she met with there. She came back, she was beaming, said it was totally life-changing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really competitive thing to get, so we were incredibly proud of her, and we have someone housed in the Honors College who actually helps students who want to get those prestigious awards and internships and experiences like that. So she's one that comes to mind. And then we also have another student who just graduated, Eric Mizuki, and he actually did a co-op with an engineering company up in Cartersville, actually. And he ended up saving that company $750,000 by doing an honors contract. He wanted to streamline a process for them, and he was able to do it, save them that money, and of course they wanted to hire him. So, and he's a recent grad, so just two incredible students that are at the top of mind right now.
They cut him a nice check for $750,000.
I hope so. I hope so. At least a cut of it.
Eric pulls up in his new Tesla.
Yeah.
The doors go up, the car comes to him. It's awesome.
Oh, you've been looking at Teslas, have you? Nice. Okay, I like it.
Next car.
I like it. I think these are cool stories, and I think about myself. Even I came from a family where Dad had gone to college and got his master's degree. My mom had a nursing degree, but I still didn't know some of these national and international scholarships and fellowships and things like that. And I would have never. I wish I did know back in the day. And it's so nice to have a resource, Dr. Miles, to be able to have someone to go to that's not only going to help you apply for these scholarships, but frankly, for a lot of students, know about these scholarships, know about what's out there that could be life-changing, like for Kendall.
Yeah.
Because I certainly didn't.
Yeah. And we always tell students too, Dr. Miles is wonderful at what she does, and you don't even have to know where you want to go or what program you want to apply for. You can simply show up, say hello, introduce yourself, and say, I'm majoring in this. This is what I think I want to do, but I'm really not sure. And she has tons of resources and books just full of all these scholarships that are available out there. There's so many that, there's just tons that you can apply for. So absolutely, she's housed in honors. And she helps alumni as well. So if you've graduated from the university, you can come back and see her too, which is really nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think we've got another question.
Okay, this is from Yesenia. She came back.
Nice.
Okay, she said she's spring 2020 is her first semester at KSU.
Oh, welcome.
Welcome.
Awesome.
Yep.
Hope
And-
class going well? Comment below. If not, don't comment below. I'm just kidding.
Okay, she wants to know if she can still fill out the application for scholarships.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so you'd be applying for the next school year, so starting fall 2020 all the way through summer 2021. But yes, definitely go into Owl Express. Please fill out the scholarship application.
Yeah.
And it's great because you're early.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah.
But don't delay, much like Jacinta's like, don't put it off. Don't
I
put
didn't
it off.
realize that I like had my finger wagging when I was telling people, like, you've got to do these things.
Cool. Okay. So let's talk about a day with honors, because
Okay.
it's one thing to hear from us here on Facebook and pique some interest. It's another thing to come and and watch us present. Now, it's another thing to come to
We're
campus.
entertaining.
Come to campus and really experience
Yeah.
what we're talking about and get even more in depth than what we can do here in an hour on Facebook. So tell people a little bit about A Day with Honors, and if you don't mind, share where they can find it on your website to sign up.
Yeah. So we do A Day with Honors roughly every other Friday. We've got several this semester. So if you'd like to come, we'd love to have you there. You can come as a prospective student. You can come as a current student. We've had everyone from freshmen in high school to seniors in high school. We welcome everyone. So you'll get a presentation by us that will talk about that curriculum really in depth and the foundations and all the opportunities that are available to you and the benefits. So we would welcome you to come to that. It's a lot of good information. And you also get a tour by Haley, who is a current honors student. So kind of nice, you get it from her perspective. So if you're interested in that, you can sign up on the Honors College website. So it's honors.kennesaw.edu. It's under prospective students, and it's right under application. So you'll see A Day with Honors. If you click that, registration is there. So we would love to have you.
We always do these, as Casey said, on Fridays. So we want to, the nice wink thing is that for parents, you usually get kind of a 3-day weekend. Students, you get to take a day off of school, not that you want to, but we give you a school excuse form, so you're good with the school. And we start at 2, and then should have you out of here by about 4:30 at the latest. So we want to make sure you get off campus before traffic hits, things like that. But we have students that come from all over. We have students that have come from even this past semester as far north as Pennsylvania and New York. So really exciting. We've had people from California before. So come visit with us at A Day with Honors. We have one coming up this Friday,
yeah.
our first of 2020. So
Checking it
January
out.
the 17th. Please sign up, still open. We have another one at the end of the month on the 31st, and then we have 2 in February. So you can see those on the Honors College website. You can also see them at visit.kennesaw.edu.
And you guys do an info session at open house.
Yes, we
So,
will be at all the open
there you
houses.
go.
So all 4 that are coming up, Kennesaw and Marietta, we do a special honor session there as well.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Anything you want to ask? Any good questions?
No,
Yeah.
I don't. They just like come to me as I think about
Should
it.
we talk about bone records?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Now's a great time to talk about
This is one of my
bone
favorite
records.
things to talk
Okay.
about.
Okay.
So part of our curriculum, as I mentioned, it's really flexible. One of the options is something called an honors discovery. So this is always a non-credit bearing experience. It's typically 5 weeks. So students meet 5 weeks in a row, 1 day a week, and they're only special topics courses. So these are things that you're not going to get anywhere else. You simply take it because you're interested in it. You think it's something you'd like to learn about, and maybe we don't offer it at KSU. So we rolled this out in fall of 2017. So the dean of the College of the Arts at the time, she approached us, and she worked with honors a lot, and she said, I really want to teach this honors discovery on bone records. And I'd never heard of that. I don't think anyone in honors had. And we said, well, what is that? And she was explaining that she was in a flea market one day, and she was thumbing through records, and she pulled out an x-ray. And there was actually music etched onto that x-ray. So she bought it and took it home and did research on it, and found that in the 1950s in the Soviet Union, that's how they used to listen to American music, because it was outlawed. They weren't allowed to. So things like Elvis and the Beach Boys, they could listen to it on these x-rays that had music etched into them. So she started collecting these x-rays with the music on them, did more research on it, became an expert on it, travels to give talks about these x-rays. And she actually wanted to teach a discovery. So she taught that course for 5 weeks. And then for the culminating experience, there's usually some kind of culminating experience for honors discoveries. We traveled to Nashville and we toured music studios because she had those industry connections. So that was limited to a certain number of students, and they got to go to Martina McBride's studio. They got to go to Jack White's studio with the white stripes. We got a tour by his nephew, which was really cool. So just a unique experience. It was only open to honor students. That was probably one of the most memorable things I've ever done. I mean, it was just incredible. So,
That's cool.
yeah.
We did have somebody one time in a day with honors bringing this up that actually knew what they were. Casey quizzed him, and he was, and you're thinking that he's lying, and he actually knew what they were, and he recited it back. It was incredible.
That's the only time that's ever happened.
Yep. So there you go. Now somebody's going to cheat. They will have heard
I
this
know.
whole spiel, and they're going to come to our day with honors. We're going to have to change it up now. Cat's out of the bag.
Now they know.
Yeah.
Got a different story.
Casey, little off topic, but not really because this is Kennesaw State. So what's your favorite part or thing at Kennesaw State? I mean, you have a unique, well, there's probably a fair number of you graduates that are working here at the university, but you have the experience of coming here as an undergrad, getting your master's here, working here, multiple departments. What's your favorite part about Kennesaw State?
Ooh, that's a hard question.
Yeah, sorry.
Man, I would probably say it's the people I've met. I have worked in a lot of different departments. I worked as a student assistant at the institution as an undergrad. I was a marketing intern here. I worked in mechatronics. I'm working in honors. I teach students. So I've been able to build a lot of relationships, and I love that community, that I can pick up the phone and call just about anyone and, know who it is, and just admissions. I have a great relationship with you guys, and so I think that's my favorite part, is just the community, and the students are incredible. Teaching has been one of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my life. I love it. Now I have students who just come in and sit in my office now. They'll just come in and sit at my little conference table, and I'll say, "What are you doing here?" And they're like, "Oh, I just came to say hi." And I love that. I
That's
love
nice.
that community. So yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
I like that.
What
That's
are
a
you
good
teaching?
question. I'm teaching 2 courses. So I'm actually teaching an honors course that's developing the Honors College magazine. And that's a really cool course for our honor students because we're going to be working on feature stories the whole semester. They get to choose the story that they want to do. They do the interview with that person. They write the entire story themselves, and then I actually publish that in our magazine, which is released every fall. So that's another cool thing just for honor students. It's an option for them. They can add that to their resume. Just a cool opportunity. And then I'm also teaching a course for the business college. I'm teaching a social media course, which I've really enjoyed. So
Big time. I already knew
Yeah.
about it, but I have to act surprised. What?
should do that every time.
What? Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been awesome. So
Are you nervous about that or no?
excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. I want to make sure I deliver. Yeah.
Mm.
I do a lot of prep.
You should
So, but I like it.
you should film your classes and then post them on social media.
Here we go.
Talking about social media.
Yep.
I told them I was doing this today.
Oh,
So they might be tuning in. I
wonder
don't
if
know.
some of them have been watching. If you've been watching it,
Yeah.
and Casey is your professor, then you need to comment below. Maybe she'll give you extra credit. Maybe she won't.
1 point.
But,
Setting those
you
expectations.
know, yeah, that's right. 1 point. 1 like.
1 like gives you 1 point.
Hey,
Couple hearts gives
points,
you 2
points
points.
for likes. Well,
Yeah.
no, that's not how we operate
No.
at the university. I regret
That's not what
bringing
you
this
do
up
with social
at all.
media.
Yeah.
Making no promises.
Nice. So I want to highlight a couple things, and then I think we're going to close it out. We're right at our time for this evening. If you are not a frequent visitor of our website, one, it's really simple, kennesaw.edu. Hello, you're on the Facebook page, so you've probably already seen the website or at least seen the link. You need to go there because there's some really great stories that appear in the banner. I don't know, you can tell me what the official verbiage is, what it's actually called, but it's the big block that comes across the middle. And that's a great way to stay up to date with what's going on here at KSU. Much like right now, running in that banner is the Brown family giving $10 million to the now newly named KSU Journey Honors College. How incredible. So definitely read that story, check it out. And then also there's great student stories out there. So much like Casey's been talking about some of the really awesome students that are in the Honors College, there's some really cool stories that are out there. Help you figure out whether or not you could be a student here at the university as well. Do you identify with one of these students that's out there? So right now we have a series that's called My First Semester, and you can read about all these cool things that are happening in students' lives during their first semester here at Kennesaw State. So I recommend you go read, watch. There's great videos out there as well, but find out really through any way possible, any way that you can, in the way that you consume media today, any way that you feel it, hopefully comfortable and at home with making KSU your future home, or as we like to say, your nest. Oh, wow. That was really well timed. Dang, we didn't even plan that. Okay, cool. So we have thoroughly enjoyed having Casey with us tonight, representing the KSU Journey
for having me.
Honors College. Of
Always.
course. So please check out honors.kennesaw.edu. Sign up for a day with honors. We would love to have you come so we can talk at you some more and you can ask some really cool questions. Also, we got you really nice premier parking when you come visit campus, and you're going to have a great tour. We would love to see you at open house. So if you want to get a little more in depth with Casey and her team and the wonderful people that she works with, come to open house, go to the honors special session. So we will have 4 of those here this spring, 2 coming up in February. The signups are live, so please go to admissions.kennesaw.edu/open house. We have a tradition. We sign off with owl eyes and a good hearty hooty hoo. So let's make owl eyes. We're going to connect them and then give you a hooty hoo. And we hope you have a great rest of your night. Hooty hoo! Oh, we should have made